Well, the anxiety of the last year has a lot of us suffering in different ways.
A lot of us say our friendships are struggling too. UW Health distinguished psychologist Dr. Shyla Murgain joins us now with some tips on how to strengthen them during the pandemic. Hi, Shyla.
Hi,
Good to
Shyla.
see you.
Oh, great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Boy, I think this is really true. I mean, I miss my friends so much here on Exile Island. I can't wait for all of us to be back together again. And there's a lot of research about the benefits of friendships. And what does it show?
It's fascinating when they've done longitudinal research tracking people over time. The #1 predictor of a healthy, longer life has been the quality of friendships. So those people who don't necessarily have a quantity of relationships, but those quality friendships. We find when we have those strong connections with friends, it just promotes better physical and mental health, and we can actually even recover more quickly from illness. And we find that the pandemic has really hit many of our friendships hard. And at a time when research shows that over the last 35 years, friend networks have been dwindling because of social media, and we're all so busy. And so many people are finding that we're missing our friends, or even having to take a pause from some friendships at this time to really take care of ourselves and what's most important to us.
Are some groups affected more than others?
That's such a great question, Mark. Absolutely. We look at elderly people in nursing homes or assisted living, can't see friends in the same way due to social distancing. We also find widowers or single people can feel quite alone. And then I think of our children who can't have those in-person play dates, and they miss out on some of that social learning and connectedness, which really can, over time, really impact our mental health and our well-being. And so with Valentine's Day just around the corner and Galentine's Day for all the women out there, I think it's time to really think about reprioritizing our friendships and strengthening those with the people we care most about.
Well, what kinds of things do friendships need in order to flourish?
Yeah, friendships need 3 essential things. They need proximity, so closeness. They need a place where we can let down our guard, kind of a setting where we can relax, and then spontaneous interaction. And this has been really hard with the pandemic because many of us are relying on Zoom calls that we're starting to feel burned out on. And even when we're together, we're wearing masks, so it's hard to read some of those social cues. So we have to think creatively and really, really invest in those relationships. I think about relationships as a bank account that we're making deposits and withdrawals. And the pandemic has forced a lot of withdrawals. We're kind of in red in some ways in some of those relationships. So being intentional about the deposits we want to make.
What are some ways that we can connect staying safe?
So I like to think about being the sun, as one author wrote, versus the salt in relationships. And the work of John Gottman finds that healthy relationships have a 5-to-1 ratio of 5 positive interactions of being like the sun to every negative, like the salt. Because we want, with those deposits and those positive interactions and suns, to have things bloom. So think about reaching out regularly. This week with Valentine's Day, just call somebody, send somebody a text, ask them how they're doing. The second, show appreciation or gratitude for what you like about them. And then schedule time together, quality time, whether it's social distancing, where you can take a walk, maybe when it's a little colder here in Wisconsin, or even setting up that Zoom or virtual get-together. And then even think about send something to, like a thank you note or gift. I think there's a long-lost art of that, of sending something through the mail, or even just even share something, a resource that you think the other person would find, like a book or article or even piece of music. But that investment, helping that person know that you care about them, that you're thinking about them, can go a long way to really strengthening those relationships that really matter most to you.
Yeah, it's sometimes pretty easy just to pick up the phone and say hi, how you doing?
Yeah, sometimes just keeping it simple can go a long way, and letting people know you care.
Shyla, thanks for being with us today. Stay warm.
Thanks, Shyla. Great to see you.
Yeah, great to be here, and happy Valentine's Day in a couple of days.
You too. Oh, a final check of our forecast coming up.